Contract Administration, Finance. Module Overview. In this consolidated module, we will explore the financial, legal, and administrative aspects of construction contracts, focusing on how architects interact with clients, contractors, and the overall project environment. The discussion covers topics like financial administration, client-architect agreements, contract security, managing variations, and the roles of different participants throughout the project lifecycle. The goal is to provide a foundational understanding of how to navigate the complexities of contracts, focusing on the practical tools and responsibilities architects need to execute during construction projects. 1. Financial Administration in Contract Management. 1.1 Introduction to Key Financial Principles. Financial management in construction contracts plays a vital role in ensuring the smooth execution and completion of projects. The key principles here revolve around providing cost certainty, managing changes effectively, and ensuring the correct payment mechanisms are in place. Certainty versus change. Despite the desire for fixed prices, construction contracts are inherently subject to change. The contract price, although initially determined, is likely to fluctuate due to unforeseen conditions, additional requirements, or modifications. This means it's essential for both architects and clients to be prepared for these shifts. Common cost increases. Costs are more likely to rise rather than fall during a project. This can be due to unexpected issues like site conditions that were not evident at the outset, omissions or mistakes in the design documents, or changes requested by the client. Architects must explain these factors clearly to clients to manage expectations effectively. 1.2. The contract sum. The contract sum is the agreed price determined after the tendering process and forms the basis of the construction contract. However, subject to adjustments, the contract sum is not the final cost. Adjustments may occur due to provisional sums or prime cost items, costs that were estimated because they were not precisely defined during contract formation. Difference from total project cost. It's crucial to understand that the contract sum differs from the total project cost. The former only includes construction costs, while the latter may also account for fees, contingencies, permits, and other project-related expenses. 1.3 Provisional sums and prime cost items. Provisional sums. These are estimated costs for parts of the project that haven't been fully defined yet. Examples include groundwork or specialized finishes. The final cost of these items can vary significantly depending on site conditions and final decisions during construction. Prime cost items. These are allowances for materials or fittings that have not yet been selected. Items such as kitchen appliances, sanitary fittings, and tiles fall into this category. These sums often change as clients make specific selections, which can increase or reduce the final cost depending on the product choices. 1.4 Security in contracts. Security is a mechanism within construction contracts designed to protect the client's interests. Cash retention. A percentage of each progress payment is withheld to ensure contractor performance and is only released once the project is satisfactorily completed. Bank guarantees. A financial guarantee provided upfront by the contractor that can be claimed by the client if the contractor fails to meet contractual obligations. These measures help ensure that contractors complete their work to the specified standards and give the client recourse in case of failure. 1.5 Liquidated damages. Liquidated damages represent the financial compensation that a contractor must pay if they fail to complete the project on time. This amount is predetermined and should reflect a genuine estimate of the client's financial loss, such as costs related to project delays or additional rent. It's crucial to negotiate this rate before signing the contract. 2. Manning variations. 2.1 Understanding variations. A variation is any change to the original scope of work as defined in the construction contract. These changes can affect both time and cost. Variations arise due to various factors. Unexpected site conditions. Situations like discovering unknown underground services or hazardous materials during excavation might necessitate modifications to the original scope. Client or architect-initiated changes, mid-project design changes, or additional requirements from the client often lead to variations. Documentation issues, ambiguities, or errors in construction drawings may require adjustments to clarify expectations. Variations are generally perceived negatively because they often lead to increased costs and delays. As an architect, it's crucial to communicate the reasons behind variations to clients to maintain transparency. 2.2 Processes for issuing variations. Architect-initiated variations. When the architect identifies improvements or changes that could benefit the project, they should quantify the expected impact on time and cost before issuing the variation. Clear documentation and client approval are key here. Contractor-initiated variations. Contractors may request variations if unforeseen issues arise that necessitate changes to the scope of work. Such requests must be backed with sufficient documentation detailing the nature of the change, its cost implications, and its impact on the schedule. Variations need to be handled carefully to prevent disputes, especially concerning cost and timing impacts. 3. Payment for works. 3.1 Progress claims and certificates. Progress claims are periodic requests made by the contractor for payment for work completed. These claims must reflect the progress of the project as per contractual milestones. Architect's role. The architect reviews these claims, verifies the amount of work completed, and issues progress certificates, authorizing payment by the client. The accuracy of these certificates is crucial, as any overpayment could lead to cash flow problems or even the risk of financial loss if the contractor fails to deliver. 3-point cash flow considerations. Proper financial management ensures that payments align with the actual progress on site, helping avoid overpayment and keeping the project financially stable. This is particularly important when dealing with provisional and prime cost items, as adjustments are often necessary once final costs are established. 3.3 Adjusting provisional and prime cost items. The architect needs to regularly assess whether adjustments are required for provisional sums and prime cost items. This can occur when the actual costs exceed or fall short of the initial estimates. Proper documentation and client approval are needed before making such adjustments. 4. Client-architect agreements. 4.1 Scope of client-architect agreements. The client-architect agreement outlines the scope of work, the services provided by the architect, and their terms of engagement. It serves as a legal document that both defines expectations and mitigates risks. Project scope and budget. Clear definitions of both total project cost and construction cost are crucial. Misalignment here can lead to misunderstandings or disputes, particularly around what costs are covered under the architect's services. Risk management. CAAs often include clauses that address risks such as continuation of work during disputes or professional indemnity. Architects need to manage these carefully to avoid liability issues. 4.2 Cost and fees. Fee structures may be based on a percentage of the construction cost, a lump sum for the entire project, or hourly rates for specific services. Each approach has its advantages. Percentage fees adjust based on project size and changes. Lump sum fees provide cost certainty but require a well-defined scope. Hourly rates are typically used for additional services not covered in the main agreement. It's vital to establish fees early and ensure both parties understand which services are included and which may incur additional charges. 5. Key contract terminology and security. 5.1 Important contract terms. Understanding contract language is vital for managing construction projects effectively. Here are some key terms. Practical completion refers to the stage when construction is substantially complete and ready for use. This term is important because it triggers the defects liability period and affects both security releases and liquidated damages. Security types. In construction contracts, security might be provided as cash retention or an unconditional guarantee. These mechanisms help ensure that contractors fulfill their obligations. 5.2 Security handling. Release of security. Security is released in stages, typically half at practical completion and the rest at the final certificate. This gradual release helps mitigate risks related to defects or incomplete work. Architect's responsibility. The architect must balance client and contractor interests when deciding on security release, ensuring fairness and adherence to contractual terms. 6. Post-completion financial administration. 6.1 Defects liability period. This period allows the contractor to rectify any defects identified after practical completion. The architect is responsible for overseeing defect rectifications and ensuring they meet the agreed standards. 6.2 Final certificate and security release. The final certificate confirms the contractor's fulfillment of obligations, authorizing the release of any remaining security. This is often a critical point in contract administration, where disputes may arise over whether all defects have been satisfactorily addressed. 6.3 Client communication. Throughout the project, keeping clients informed of the financial aspects is crucial. Explaining progress payments, architects should help clients understand each progress payment, what it covers, and why it's necessary. This transparency reduces confusion and builds trust. Handling variations, proactive discussions about variations, including the reasons and their financial implications, help maintain client confidence in the project's management. Conclusion: navigating contract administration. Effective contract administration requires thorough knowledge of financial processes, clear communication with clients and contractors, and a careful approach to managing variations and payments. An architect's role as the contract administrator includes not only overseeing construction quality and timelines, but also ensuring financial propriety. Mastering these skills allows architects to facilitate smooth project progression, foster trust among stakeholders, and deliver successful project outcomes.